So let's talk about this mic'd up deal they got going on in Major League Baseball.
I got to explain. I'm not just saying this now because it's the Yankees. I've always said this. I find it to be like very demanding of these professional athletes. It's very, I don't know if that's the word.
You have low expectations. Know what Covino always says? Anytime there's a news story that breaks in a small town, Covino's first observation is like, well, I can't believe the composure of like the local police chief got on the microphone. It's like, that's what you do. People step up.
Yeah, but
like
there's a lot of professional pressure already on these athletes to deliver high stakes. Every game's a big deal.
What's the pressure?
Such a big deal. We come back every day analyzing everything.
But what's the pressure?
And you want this professional baseball player to be locked in the zone and then answer stupid questions from idiot broadcasters in the booth? That's a lot on national TV. Beat it. If I was the manager or coach of that team, I'd be like, no, interview someone else. My guy needs to concentrate and focus on the game. And I've always felt that way. Jeez. And, dude, I was hanging with my brother.
I'm sorry, hold on. Covino Popovich over here. Can I say, this is fun for the fans. They're trying to
it's not just fun. That's why we talk about it all the time. Yes, sports is fun, but don't act like there's not an immense amount of pressure to deliver. Don't act like that's not true, because it is. Yeah, it's a game, and it's a kid's game, but at the highest of levels with millions of people watching.
You sound like such a crybaby.
Whatever, big hoss. Yeah.
Listen, post-game, pre-game, halftime, in between quarters in the NBA, coach interviews, it's the least you could do. You're trying to get some
coach
insight.
Is not playing.
You're trying to get insight. Fans want to be more involved. That's how the game is evolving and growing.
I think this is to pull in the casual fan that likes this. I see the benefit. It's not that I don't see the benefit of when a player's mic'd up. But if you care about that team, you care about that player, it's like, yo, take the pressure off this guy. Let him concentrate on the exit velocity of a 110-mile-per-hour rocket coming at his face.
You're telling me because Jazz Chisholm
was about to tell you, and you won't let me tell you. I told you I was hanging out with my brother, and me and him were sitting there. I'm like, I hate when they do this. And my brother's like, yeah, I hate it too, bro. And I'm like, cool. We confirm that this is weak. Let them play the game. Why do we got to have these guys mic'd up in the middle of a good rivalry here and a game that matters? Every game matters. If it didn't, we wouldn't be talking about it all the time. And he's like, yo, one of these days there's going to be a costly error, and they're going to be like, yo, we can't do this anymore, man. I'm just waiting for the day it happens. Sure enough, Jazz Chisholm is mic'd up at third base, a position that he's not necessarily that comfortable with. It's not his position. He's just there because LeMahieu's at second. Here's what happens.
So the first question comes from a fan. What are your thoughts on what Hunter Dobbins said earlier about retiring rather than being in pinstripes?
I think we're looking at...
1 second. Damn it.
Spin throw.
Spin throw is right. Difficult play. Difficult.
Yeah, that's all right. We're going to get it.
Yeah, his thoughts on Hunter Dobbins were really important in that moment.
On the throw.
Yeah. We're good. For me, I love competitiveness.
Give me a break. Poor guy gets a rocket hit at him. He has to do a spinaroo, and then throw. And damn it goes.
Do you think he would have made that play if he wasn't mic'd up?
He might have, yeah. You know, you're not concentrating. It's almost even dangerous. He's there at third base. These guys are hitting rock. Yes, because it's the big leagues. Let him concentrate. Guys are hitting monster shots into the outfield. You want this guy to be answering questions about his wife or about the clubhouse. Meanwhile, they're in the middle of an intense game with 55,000 people watching and millions at home. Like, that's a lot of added unnecessary pressure. I'd be like, yo, thanks, but no thanks, guy in the booth. And I'm a broadcaster. Beat it. There's a time and place. That's not it.
I think this
is for the most casual weenie fan that just needs that added extra. Like, you know who says they like this? My girlfriend's like, I like when they do this. I'm like, I don't, because I care about the team. You don't.
No.
Yes.
Listen, this gives some personality. And
okay, then why don't they mic up pitchers? Why don't they mic up when in big moments? Because it's distracting.
They mic up NFL players, they just don't have conversations with them, and that's some of the greatest footage we see every year.
You could have it mic'd up, but when you're doing a full-on interview in the middle of the game,
that's downtime there is in baseball,
dude. And so what are you gonna do? Why don't you call him up and FaceTime him in the middle?
Call me dude.
But it's too much. It's intrusive. It's like, yo, man, let the guy play. Your thoughts, 877-99 on Fox. You know, that error could have changed the whole outcome of the game. Could have set a bad tone. Every game matters, and it's because some jabroni wants to know his thoughts on Hunter Dobbins. Screw Hunter Dobbins.
Your favorite pizza toppings. Now, go.
You can
Jazz,
call the broadcasters off. Remember how famously Rojas on the Dodgers said, hang on a second, let me make this play.
Yo, dude, but still, yeah,
That's slick.
That provided for a fun moment, but what if it didn't go that way, right? Or what if it cost the game? What if something bad happens? What if what if he hit a line drive to the noggin? Then it's okay? I'm not a fan of it. I never was. Never. I got to make it very clear. It's not just because of Jazz Chisholm. It's just I think these are high-pressure, game of the week, nationally televised moments. You want to know what Jazz Chisholm had for breakfast?
I do, actually.
Give me a break.
What do you think Jazz Chisholm had for breakfast?
I don't care. There's a time and place. How about after
Cocoa
the game?
Krispies?
How about after the game? How about before the game? You got to have it when he's getting set there at the hot corner. No thanks. Don't pass on the interview.
I mean, you're just mad because your dude made an error.
No, I'm not. And that's why I said a million times, I've always felt this way. I always thought I was asking too much of the players. You want to mic up people while they play? That's fine. You want to do a full-on interview with them in the middle of the game? Beat it. You got nothing else to talk about?
I thought one of the cooler
Find something
moments
to talk about in the booth.
I thought one of the cooler moments of a national game recently was, I believe it was Subway Series, Mets Yankees, and they had Brandon Nimmo on the mic. They also did another one with Lindor, and they talked to Lindor's wife.
His wife surprised him with their newborn.
At the game.
She was standing there with the newborn.
Dude, it was a nice moment. Very forced, and unnecessary. They could have did that anytime. I think it's distracting. There's plenty of time in between innings, before and after the game. You're expecting so much from these guys. They're trying to play a game, and you can downplay it all you want. People got money on the game. There's high stakes at the game. People's jobs are on the line. You know what I mean? Like Jazz Chisholm's at third because he's competing for a spot at second. And you got him making errors because you want to know how he feels about his favorite TV show.
We're gonna talk in circles. So I'd rather just move on because your head's up your ass on this one because you think
I'm the only guy.
Because you think
are you not taking the temperature of people out there?
You think
I'm the only guy that feels this way?
We taking temperatures orally or what? How are you taking these temperatures?
877-99 on Fox. If you feel me at all. And you will when it's your goofy-ass team that makes a costly error because some goofball in the booth wants to know what he had for dinner. We'll see what happens then.
Wes in Vegas hit us up, and he goes, Covino, NASCAR drivers do interviews mid-race. You're telling me a mic'd-up baseball player who does nothing 90% of the time?
Ready? Get ready. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Well, you know who agrees with you? A guy that...
Why don't you read all the comments that go against me? Go ahead, continue.
Well, I'm going to read one for you, but now I won't. All right, I will. Our buddy... comedian Michael Yo's like, Covino's right.
Yo! That's what's up. Michael Yo.
Yo.
See?
I'm with Covino on this. I think that there's I also think that there's a difference. So I think NASCAR usually does it in a caution situation. I don't think they're going down the backstretch at Daytona. They're checking in to see what's happening with Chase Elliott. I don't remember that. But TNT, ESPN, I know TNT does the inside tracks thing where they will have someone mic'd and then they'll bring it back. That's different than doing an interview, during a game and stuff like that. And sometimes the content that they have on the inside track stuff is worthless. Like there was a game, and I can't remember, maybe Sam remembers, we talked about a month or two ago, that somebody mic'd up. They got into a fight with somebody on the court, and then when they did their inside tracks, all it was like, good job, man, good job, get back on D, get back on D. They had no audio from the fight that occurred between that person or the argument and another person. So if you're trying to enhance the broadcast, you're doing it in that situation at the expense of actual wins and losses, which I think is wrong when you're usually trying to do it just to bring in more viewers.
When they do this, or when they started doing this, was usually a special event like an all-star game or something like that. And that was my first thought of like, man, I don't know how I feel about that. But at least it's like one special game. It's fun. It's for the fans. These are real games, dude. Real games that matter.
They've expanded it to golf, but they'll do it between shots. Like when a player hits a tee shot, he'll have an earpiece in and he'll walk down the fairway and get questions. More and more players are becoming warm to it, but not as you're lining up an 8-foot putt, needing to save par. You're like, let's go to Jim Nantz. Like
yeah, I mean, listen,
booth.
I agree. You're not going to go to Edwin Diaz in a save situation, facing Bryce Harper and be like, "It's 2-2."
Okay, so
hey, by the way, Edwin Diaz, you're more of a boob guy or butt guy? Like, I mean, you're not going to be.
Okay, so some guy at the hot corner taking the. Again, exit velocities of 110 miles per hour plus. That's the time to be talking to the guy. Give me a break. How about when the guy's roaming the outfield in an All-Star game? Okay, I get it. Football players just mic'd up. Yo, my man, what's going on? You ready for the game today? Yeah, that's all fun and good for the B-roll. But an interview during the game, now you're like overstepping. Stop overstepping, guys. How about you find something interesting to talk about? That's how I feel about it. That's my side. And it cost the Yankees in that moment.